Good morning, everybody. We have a sharply lower trade in the grain markets here early on Tuesday. It is 6:30 a.m. Central Time. December corn futures down 9.5 cents at 417. January soybeans down 15 and a quarter at 1176 and a quarter. December Chicago wheat down 4 cents at 494 and three quarters. December Kansas City wheat down 6 at 545 and a quarter. December spring wheat down 1.5 at 541. So a little bit of selling pressure emerging here this morning. At least one news outlet yesterday suggesting that China may have canceled several U.S. soybean cargoes. And I've only heard this from one place. This is from AgriSensus, who is, I believe, out of London. I've actually talked to them on several occasions. They reported that Chinese crushers washed out of several cargoes of U.S. soybeans amid high prices and tightening crush margins. Their article suggests that Chinese crushers have already covered their December needs and may only need a very minimal amount for January. So when you look at the pricing structure, US versus Brazil, we know that China is already actively booking Brazilian beans for March, April delivery, maybe even some for February. Brazil has a massive discount to the United States in regard to exported beans during that time frame. So if what the article here is, if this report is reality and that China's already covered for December and most of January, it really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for them to continue to buy U.S. beans aggressively. In fact, it would make sense for them to buy as few U.S. soybeans as possible between now and February, when the Brazilian crop comes online and is available at a much lower price. So this is all food for thought here this morning. I don't know if this is reality or not. I'll call this trade chatter here for the morning, or for the moment. Is that why the market's down? I really don't know, but that is one thing that is circulating, certainly. Now, perhaps on that same note, there has not been a flash sale of U.S. corn or soybeans to China since November 6th. Some traders are beginning to think that some of these sales to unknown destinations may be China. Yesterday, there was a sale of 334,000 metric tons. It's about 13 million bushels confirmed to an unknown destination. So I suppose that that's possible. Some South American production estimates are falling below recent government numbers. Well-followed crop scout Michael Cordonnier pegged the Brazilian soybean crop at 132 million metric tons. That was unchanged from his previous estimate, but the Brazilian government's got the crop at 135, USDA is at 133. Cordonnier has a neutral to downward bias moving forward. He left his Brazilian corn estimate unchanged at 106. That's below USDA's 110. He lowered his Argentina soybean number to 49 from 50. USDA is at 51. His Argentina corn number was lowered to 48 from 49. USDA is at 50. Now, you've got to keep an eye on this dry weather in South America. If you look at what's happened over the last 30 days, a lot of key soybean growing areas in Brazil have been abnormally dry, less than half of their normal rainfall over the last month. And the forecast really doesn't look that great. Rains over the weekend were kind of disappointing. There's not any major rain event in the forecast, at least during the next 10 days. So that's something we've got to keep an eye on, certainly. The U.S. winter wheat crop rated only 43% good to excellent. That was down 3 percentage points on the week, well below the 54% average. That was actually a surprise to a lot of people. There was a good chunk of the trade that thought that the winter wheat ratings would actually improve. You saw some pretty significant declines in the southern plains, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, Missouri. Some of your SRW areas saw some improvement after some recent rains, but drought continues to impact a lot of areas of the southern plains. I think that's why you saw that decline in ratings, which again was unexpected. And the wheat market's lower here this morning, and when you've got corn down 9 and beans down 15, that's probably to be expected, I suppose. But those ratings certainly something to be aware of. Corn market itself, we're trading now, what, 11 or 12 cents from yesterday's highs, and I don't know if there's one big catalyst here or not. I discussed the chatter surrounding Chinese soybean cancellations. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out here over the next day or two. But we haven't busted the trend line yet in the corn. You'd have to get down, I think, 411 or 412 D's corn to get into some real major technical support. So this could just be a run-of-the-mill correction, or this could be the start of something bigger. It's really too early to tell. Soybean market is trading, 22 cents from yesterday's highs. We topped at $12 even in that nearby January contract yesterday. Again, I discussed all of the dynamics regarding U.S. versus Brazil pricing when you get into February. The fact that Brazil is going to be much, much more competitive for beans shipped to China and really shipped to anywhere in most cases. Wheat futures lower. Demand for U.S. wheat is terrible. We had our marketing year low in export sales last week. We need to see some better demand, but at the same time, we've got crop issues. So you've got a couple different things pushing and pulling here. But if you were to see an extended correction in row crops, I don't think that would bode well for the wheat. Cattle futures were sharply higher yesterday. We were up $2 in a lot of these fat cattle contracts, up more than $3 in the spot month feeder cattle contract. We also saw the box beef market sharply higher yesterday, and this was following a cattle on feed report that I would describe as being neutral, if anything. Stock market's higher this morning. The Dow Jones is up 270 points ahead of the cash open. The S&P is up 23. Bonds are down a little bit. U.S. dollars down a little bit. We saw some volatility in the U.S. dollar yesterday. Crude oil is up 49 cents, 43.55 in the January WTI. Gold's down $30. If you'd like some more information, visit my website, www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan. If you would like to know when, how, and specifically I am pricing corn, soybeans, and wheat throughout the year, check out that subscription service. It's $49 a month. You can cancel it at absolutely any time. I'll just let you know what I'm doing. There's no other obligation, no other fees, nothing like that. Everyone have a great day. I will talk to you same time tomorrow.